Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show Piano Cafe Virtual Connect. Today, the weather is very hot now, Wednesday, 24th June. Today, we reach our 27th episode. Today, we invite our guest from Zimbabwe. You know that Zimbabwe tourism is very good and very attractive tourism happen in Zimbabwe. Also, there is another type of tour they are doing like sports tourism. And today our guest is Mr. Kumbi Chiweshe, President, Zimbabwe Tour Operator Association. Sir, I welcoming you today in our Piano Cafe Virtual Connect. Today we talk with you about Zimbabwe tourism because our traveler, our stakeholder, very few are know about Zimbabwe tourism. So I welcoming you, sir, Mr. Kumbe. How is you, sir, today?
Thank you very much, Faisal, and welcome everyone who's tuned in to watch. And it's great that you're interested in Zimbabwe. It's quite cold here, and like you guys, it's quite hot. So I would happily exchange the warm weather for the cold any day. But thank you very much, Faisal.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I addressing that the COVID stopping whole world tourism. How you think? What you are think when our tourism in start again?
Yes, COVID has impacted Zimbabwe just like everywhere else around the world. As to when we will start, I'm not really sure. We've been working very hard, like everyone else, to understand what COVID is all about, what the health and safety implications are all about as well. And we've been working very closely with our tourism ministry, with the health ministry, as well as all the players, the different players in the different sectors of the tourism industry here. So in terms of reopening, we do have a very comprehensive reopening plan. That's currently before our COVID task force, which is responsible in Zimbabwe for approving before we reopen. And then obviously the ministry will be very heavily involved in guiding this process through. I think it's important just for everyone to understand it's very important that the health and safety considerations are well taken care of, because I think that's top of mind for everyone. Having said that, we regularly have health and safety reviews anyway, as a matter of course, especially with all the different establishments in this country. So looking at COVID, it's really understanding where all the important customer touch points are, all the important interface points are that are going to impact potentially these health and safety issues, just so that we can make sure that for everyone's peace of mind, they're well taken care of. So it is, I think, a matter of process and getting everything right to everyone's satisfaction, to the ministry's satisfaction, and then we'll be ready and open once again to receive visitors from around the world.
Sir, this is the first time we are introducing Zimbabwe in Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the starting point to make relation, exchange our opportunity between two countries.
Mm-hmm.
How are you thinking is our program is positively effect to your country or our country to starting tourism in future?
Yeah, it's a very good point you raise again. It is the first sort of contact, I think. And the first steps really is exactly what we're doing today. We're having a conversation, for your listeners in Bangladesh, understanding what Zimbabwe has to offer. And I think for anyone in Zimbabwe, understanding, what people from Bangladesh are looking forward to seeing, what they're looking forward to doing, what do they like to eat. So there's always the culinary experiences. So that's part and parcel of what you'd experience in any destination. So I think it's really making, the awareness must be there. And also the understanding must be there of what you like, and what they can look forward to here in Zimbabwe. So I hope at least by the end of the conversation today, they'll be a bit more enlightened, and they'll have a better understanding of what Zimbabwe has to offer. And of course, there's a lot of information on the internet anyway, and they're welcome to get in touch with us if they need to know anything more.
But sir, one thing I want to say before we going to present Zimbabwe, when we are going to search on net who are the perfect tour operator in Zimbabwe, then in net not know who is the perfect, then how can we connect with perfect player like you? You are the perfect tour operator because you are the president, and a lot of people involved in tourism Zimbabwe. There is the very few are not good, but most of are good. But how we reach them?
Okay, I think you've hit the nail on the head in terms of the Zimbabwe Tour Operators Association. That would be a very good starting point. We are on the internet, and our website address, if I can just give it, it's ztoaonline.net. That's our website address. So if our email details, telephone numbers, everything are available on the website. So that would be a very good starting point. And then the Zimbabwe Zimbabwe Tourism Authority would also be a good starting point. They would just refer anyone making such inquiries directly to the Tour Operators Association. So that's in the case of Bangladeshi tour operators, travel agents, or even just individuals wanting to make inquiries as to who a reliable or who a very good tour operator would be. That would be a very good starting point.
Then, sir, I want to say, then we are already involved with Zimbabwe Tour Operator Association, Piano Island, reach the right point, right?
Yes, 100%.
Thank you, sir. Now we want to know the tourism attraction of Zimbabwe. Why we come to Zimbabwe, and what thing are attract us? What thing are attracts tour operator or traveler? Sorry, traveler.
Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you very much. Culture. Getting to know the people, that's, I think, the starting point of any journey that you want to undertake. And Zimbabwe's got a rich history going back centuries. And I think that's really the starting point of anything. The wildlife, very diverse, rich wildlife. So the Big Five is what everybody wants to see. And we have the Big Five here in Zimbabwe, numerous game parks around the country. And that's definitely something everyone wants to experience and enjoy. And I don't know of anyone who can get enough of what the wildlife experiences. And then lastly, undoubtedly, 7 natural wonders of the world. Victoria Falls is here in Zimbabwe. And every time I've seen Victoria Falls, and I've seen it many, many times, you get to experience it different times, different character all throughout the year. It's an incredibly awe-inspiring scene. And so that's something that I think is top of the list. I left it for last because if I said it first, I think everyone would forget about everything else I have to say. So definitely Victoria Falls is there as well.
Sir, same question to you, which
Yeah.
I asked Miss Gillian
Yes.
Botswana. She is the CEO the Victoria Falls Regional Tourism Association.
Yes.
I asked same question.
Uh-huh.
Why not your tourism authority, tourism board, or your association focusing Bangladesh? Because Bangladesh last 15 years our development is tremendous. We are going to visit Niagara Falls. Then why not we are interested to visit the Victoria Falls? What is the limitation in there? Why not we are interested? Why not you are focusing to collect tourists from Bangladesh? No, why you are lack interested for this, or you are lot of tourists from different of countries, that's why you are not interested for Bangladesh. Around the year Bangladesh 22 million tourists visit India. This is the first we take the first position in India tourism. Then if 10% your target or 1% your target, then it is 22,000 only. Round the year you can if you are focused, then you can getting this tourists from Bangladesh, but no one from Botswana, from Zimbabwe, from Zambia, from Namibia. What is the limitation for that? Because we go to Canada for see Niagara Falls, but I know Victoria Falls is very very different than Niagara.
Okay.
So can you tell about that matter?
Well, to start with, we welcome everyone from all over the world. A lot of visitations to Zimbabwe, to Victoria Falls especially, is really people aspiring to visit the destination. So they find out about it and they draw up their plans, they draw up their budgets, and then they get on a plane and come. So that's definitely the first step. I wouldn't say we're not interested in Bangladesh. I think we're very interested in Bangladesh. And the fact that we're having this conversation is testament to the fact that we are interested. So following on from this conversation will be action in terms of how do we now make that reality happen. I tend to look at tourism as building bridges between different cultures. So this is a new bridge that we're really building up. It's a future investment that we're making to understand what Bangladesh is all about and what they want to see. Part of it, I think, is historical as well. Clearly, there's very close ties between Bangladesh and India. So 22 million visitors to India, that's a lot. We'd definitely like 1%, 10% of that to come to Zimbabwe, to Victoria Falls as well. So I think this is the first step, and it's a good first step for us to move this process forward.
Sir, when first of all, very few are know about tourism of Zimbabwe, but you are very passionate with cricket. So your cricket is much renowned around the globe.
Yes.
So this is the focal point to connect with our sports traveler who are interested to watch cricket when you are organize the sports tourism. So in future, is it possible to make our visa issues? There is now we are getting visa. We need to apply, and sometimes we are not getting Zimbabwe visas. And is it possible to make it on arrival? So a lot of tourists you are getting round the year because Victoria Fall in your hand.
Yes, I'm going to address the two things you talked about, cricket and then the visas. So cricket, yes, definitely. Zimbabwe does follow cricket. We've played in the World Cup and done pretty well over the years. Actually, one of our Zimbabwe Tour Operators Association committee members or board members is ex-Zimbabwe cricketer by the name of Gavin Rennie. So to that extent, we are very passionate. So maybe we'll ask him to look after the cricket population from Bangladesh when the teams come. But yes, sports in general, it's big in Zimbabwe, from soccer to rugby to tennis and obviously cricket. This being a very popular sport in Bangladesh, I think there's nothing to stop us broadening cooperation even from that level to start with. Yes.
I want to say that in Bangladesh, we only know the name of the cricket team. That you have only that cricket team. You have no attraction. Then today, please you describe some attraction. Why tourists visit your country? Why tourists visit Zimbabwe? Why they getting the taste of real life in Zimbabwe?
Okay. I think the starting point really for tourism, or the gateway for tourism into Zimbabwe, is undoubtedly Victoria Falls. That's a big attraction. So for that reason alone, I don't know what I could say. If they love Niagara and there's good visits to Niagara, Victoria Falls is like Niagara on steroids. It's really it's spectacular. It's the largest, one of the largest waterfalls anywhere in the world, certainly the widest. And this is really the highlight or the jewel along the Zambezi River. And then there's Lake Kariba, which used to be the largest man-made lake in the world, which is, I guess, a land and water wonderland in terms of your wildlife and safari experience. So then we talk about wildlife as well. So you've got the Big Five, which is a big attraction anyway. And there's a number of game reserves. So you've got the land experience in Kariba, you've got land and water. And then there are what we call houseboats on Kariba. So you can take 2 nights, 3 nights going up the lake and looking at different animals on land and from the houseboats as well. And then you've got the culture that I spoke about, learning about Zimbabwe's history. So if you're into cultural tourism, that's another big attraction. And then discovering Zimbabwe, the food as well. And then looking at the Great Zimbabwe Monuments. So that's really the birthplace, if you like, of Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe's history and culture. The Matopos, which is these ancient granite rock formations near Bulawayo, which is another big historical point in the country. So there's quite a lot of places, a lot of things to do. And again, it really depends on the interests that the people are looking for. Young people like to connect with young people. Africa, as you know, has got a very young population. Zimbabwe is no exception. So a visit to the cities and connecting with the young people here on different areas of mutual interest, it's another point of attraction as well. So I think in a nutshell, you're really getting the full package in Zimbabwe. The one thing I haven't spoken about yet, we have almost 365 days of the year of sunshine. Not too hot and certainly not too cold. So it's really outstanding weather, really outstanding climate, which for anyone traveling, it's always tricky to choose what time of the year to come. We have our rainy season, and the rest of the time really there's sun. And even when it does rain, the sun always makes it a point to come out and say hello to us, if you like. So the weather is fantastic. The overall experience of this country is just outstanding. And, you've got warm, friendly people who genuinely like to welcome visitors to Zimbabwe warmly. So I think it's a terrific destination from that standpoint.
Sir, can you little share the traditional food if Bangladeshi or traveler go to visit your country, then which traditional food they enjoy in your country?
Well, Zimbabwe staple food is called Sadza, which is it's maize or corn derived food, basically water on the fire and stove, and you mix that, and it's likened to a stiff cake, that comes out of it. If you're familiar with for example, Kenya and ugali. Ugali is a bit stiffer than what sadza is, so the consistency of the sadza is basically preference, a little stiff or a little soft. And then you've got a relish, which is green leaf vegetable, which is served with that, and your choice of meat. That's kind of staple. You've got another dish which I love very much, which is rice. That's prepared with peanut butter. Served
Peanut
with
butter.
Oh yes, that's very nice.
Yo, rice made with peanut butter.
Yeah,
Wow.
actually prepared with. Oh, love it. And then that's served with chicken stew, which that's how I like it anyway. Some like it with oxtail or beef. So again, your choice. And from Kariba, there's a tiny little fish called kapenta. That's so you can have kapenta as well with your sadza and relish. So there's quite that's kind of the staple. So it's a starch basically, and green leaf vegetable or some vegetable, and protein meat. So that's kind of a traditional Zimbabwean food, and there are quite a number of restaurants that offer traditional fare, or you can visit a traditional village and see how the food is prepared, and then enjoy the food with the villagers as well. So you can experience it in a formal restaurant or in a traditional setting.
Sir, in your country, you operating village tour also?
Yes, definitely village tours. I spoke about culture earlier, and those can be arranged to actually visit the villages. There's a new type of tourism now, which is the cultural tourism, which is starting to take off here in Zimbabwe, where either villages have been made so you can experience what traditional village life is like, or actually visit an actual village and get to stay with the people in the village and just see what day-to-day life is all about. So the extent of what you want to experience is basically up to you. But obviously, for most people now, they really want to experience authentic Africa, and this is what it's all about.
Oh, sir, then tell about traditional wine. Is there people get wine? I know in this area, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia, there is traditional wine is getting. Tell about something for our viewers.
Well, traditional wine.
Yes, this is because this is good for health. This is not like other thing, other alcohol, but wine is good for health. It is now proving.
Yeah. Well, so wine in Zimbabwe, we're not a wine-making area. We do have a couple of local winemakers here. Wine goes with taste, I think, more than anything else. I've experienced wines from South Africa, which we consume quite a lot of here in Zimbabwe. Wines from Chile, wines from America. I know which ones I prefer. So I think it goes with taste. I will say the same for Zimbabwean wine, the ones we have. But you can. Most of the establishments here serve wines from all over the world, really. And so it just goes really with your preference. There's a beautiful little place just outside of Harare, which is the capital city here in Zimbabwe, called Bushman's Rock. And they've got locally made wines that they serve there. So again, with taste, you can buy bottles, go and cook with it. They tell you how to prepare all of that. And so these are some of the things you can enjoy. When you say traditional wine, I chuckled a little bit because there's a traditional what I can say, traditional beer that's served.
Yes, beer. There is good beer in Zimbabwe.
Yes,
Yes.
the tourist favorite is a brand called Zambezi Lager, which is made here in Zimbabwe as well, prepared by one
Yeah.
of our local companies here. So that's definitely enjoying a Zambezi while you cruise down the Zambezi is a favorite tourist pastime here. And so yeah, there's that clear beer and there's traditional beer. So you can experience everything really in terms of locally made beverages.
Sir, we want to know about Zimbabwe nightlife for
Okay,
tourists.
okay.
You
Nightlife
know,
is
all over the world, there is the nightlife attract the traveler. In
yes.
Thailand, if we go to the Pattaya, then there is the walking street.
Mm,
And if we go to the Malaysia, there is the what we say, the Twin Tower is like that, the traditional life, nightlife, and lot
mm.
of people and bar and disco in there. So,
Mm.
in your country, there is doing the nightlife or not?
Yes, some of the places that you've mentioned are quite interesting. I remember this place in Hong Kong called Lang Kwai Fong, which is a
Lang Kwai
famous
Wan.
street. Lang Kwai Fong, I think it's called. It's a famous street where you basically start at the top of the street and during the course of the night work your way to the bottom of the street. If you make it out the other side before sun up, then that's fantastic. So Zimbabwe's got nightlife. A lot of the nightlife and clubbing and all the rest of that is really to be found in the major cities in Zimbabwe. So the capital obviously has more of that, and that's again to cater to different tastes and all the music and all the rest of that. We've got festivals that happen every so often as well. Music festivals, international bands, local bands that play all different types of music. So that constitutes part of the entertainment scene at night as well. And then congregating at different spots, braai spots, they call them goch goch. Uh,
Goch Goch.
goch 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 is just like slang of kugocha, and kugocha is to braai basically. In South Africa, they call it shisanyama. So you basically get around a nice barbecue setup, and there's all different meats that are prepared with all the accompanying food as well. And that's a very, very popular pastime. Music playing, so you can have your cars around. In America, they call it tailgating. So you chill out by your car, have your favorite beverage, mixing with your friends. There's a place in Harare called Kwamerek where it's really, really famous. It's pretty much open air. You pitch up with your car, your beverage, you buy your meat, and then somebody prepares all your food for you, and you just hang out with your friends in the evening and enjoy, and then head off to a club or to your favorite pub and have your beverages for the remainder of the evening. So that's pretty much what you can expect in terms of nightlife. Victoria Falls, there's quite a number of restaurants around as well. Craft brewery that you can go and do a brewery tour and just learn how beer is made, taste at the different stages that the beer is made. And that's a highlight I definitely recommend for anyone visiting Victoria Falls, for example. And then afterwards, enjoy your favorite beer, Indian Pale Ale or Pilsner, with your food. And there's a couple of night spots around Victoria Falls as well. But I think one of the favorite things that people do is just visit each other and just have a party at home in a home environment.
If we arrange the tour Casa region, then traveler get different type of tour flavor in four country, right?
Yes, definitely, definitely. That would be the whole point. I think on Gillian's interview, she mentioned the point that the four countries meet, which is Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia, and Botswana, which I believe it's the only place in the world that happens. So in terms of just historical precedent or just for record, you can visit four countries in a minute, pretty much, which you can't do anywhere else in the world. But to the wider question, you get to experience the sand dunes of Namibia, the wildlife wonders of Zambia, Okavango Delta in Botswana, and obviously Victoria Falls, which links Zimbabwe and Zambia, as well as the wildlife in the various countries. There's different wildlife to see and experience. But again, I always talk about the people. You experience the different cultures, the different, people. A common theme is that, here in Africa, certainly in the Gaza region, hospitality is a very, very important thing to all of us. So whether you're from overseas or for local, we'd welcome you with open arms anyway. So it's a definite attraction. I think Gillian also spoke about the Casa Uni visa, which is being worked on. It is in its probably phase 1 at the moment, but obviously the goal is so that at least you can buy one visa to visit all four countries and experience the Casa region, the greater Casa region.
Yes, sir. Because now the situation is very bad. So if we attract different type of tour, then without this method, Casa region visa, you cannot attract the tourists now. Because when someone getting four country in one visas, then there are a lot of interested to visit the country. From our country, we are interested when we get four visa. Oh, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe. Oh, Zimbabwe is the hot country. My favorite country for cricketer is there. So Namibia is there. So we are a lot of interested in coming this region, and our cost is then low. When we go to the Botswana or Zimbabwe, landing there, our cost is minimized. And if we took 8 nights or 9 nights, 10 days, then maybe it's complete 4 country. It's well for visit if we want to see. What are you thinking about this?
Yeah, look, the Casa Uni visa really involves it's processed at a government level. Again, clearly they are very committed to making this happen because they're discussing it, and it is work in progress. And we have to understand that they're obviously going to be diplomatic considerations that need to be in proper context before this is fully rolled out in the manner that they want it to. The Casa visa is available at the moment, so you can, for example, come into Zimbabwe and ask for a Casa visa. So you have access to Zimbabwe, you've got access to Zambia, you've got access to Botswana. There are rules, obviously, in terms of how long you can stay. So if you visit Zimbabwe overnight in Zambia, visit Botswana, or do it the other way, then you've got a day trip to one of the countries before you return. If you want to explore more of Botswana, more of Zambia, more of Namibia during your visit here, then clearly you need a bit of time to do that. So, get engaging with one of our professional members from the Zimbabwe Tour Operators Association will be very beneficial to help you with your budgeting. Look, for a trip to this part of the world, just like if we were coming there and I want to visit Bangladesh, India, and Vietnam, those are all places in Asia that everyone says you have to visit. There's going to be a cost involved. We can't escape that. But I think when you're planning to visit the Casa region, when you're planning to visit Zimbabwe, it's a long-haul trip for anyone from Bangladesh. And I think you must plan for it fully to enjoy the most that you can when you visit this part of the world. And part of that planning process is just going to be making sure that you've budgeted well, just so that you can get to fully experience everything there is to enjoy here. It's definitely worthwhile. When you put the cost into context, I think you get very, very good value out of it. So for the time being, this is what we have. I wouldn't put it in negative light. I think very positive light. And clearly, the industry is working very hard with the ministries to get this developed further so that we can reach that goal as soon as possible. And then Gillian would have spoken about this as well in her interview that. And a good thing we've got now the Victoria Falls Regional Tourism Association, which will step up the efforts to engage to get this to happen.
Thank you, sir, for your nice conversation. We have very near to our program. Last 2-3 question that today this program make us memorable. This is history for me because today first time I connect with Zimbabwe and connect with Zimbabwe tourism. So, if you positively present your or talk with tourism authority or your tourism board, how to getting tourists from Bangladesh, you can talk with your authority.
Yes, definitely. I'm actually seeing the head of the Zimbabwe Tourism Association this afternoon, so I will mention that we've had this discussion. He's a very, very knowledgeable, experienced veteran in the industry, Mr. Gilmore Chititi. And I'm sure he'll be very excited to learn about getting more tourists to visit Zimbabwe. That's what he's there for, and the association that the authority that he represents. I think the wider question, though, should be really maybe through you connecting us with the Bangladeshi Tour Operators Association as well, because that's what we do as tour operators, explore the possibilities and offer, these possibilities to the market, so to speak. So if we can have a formative relationship between our respective organizations. If you can pass on the details of the Bangladeshi Tourism Authority as well, that I can share that information with our tourism authority, I'm sure we can get a conversation going. I'm not sure about your airline, but clearly, these are discussions, wider discussions that can then happen to address the issue of access. Because I was looking, for example, if I wanted to visit Bangladesh, how do I get to Bangladesh? So the same question you asked me earlier about why no interest in Bangladesh.
There is answering. There is the Tour Operator Association in Bangladesh. Name is Tour Operator Association of Bangladesh, TOAB. And we are 750 members in this organization who do inbound, outbound ticketing and Hajj. Okay. And if we have outbound forum also, which is called Bangladesh Outbound Tour Association Forum.
Okay, that's great.
So, if you want to getting formal meeting with them, with the industry leader, I invite you, please give us time, and we are arranging another meeting on coming those days where we making a MOU. That is the focal point of why I do this. In fact, I do this, I do work like as a bridge. This is the correct point from you, correct question from you. Why this show? This is the bridging. All over the people connect with Bangladeshi tour operator, Bangladeshi tourism industry, that we want to present and that we want to say we have a long story in this industry. We are the top position in Indian tourism authority. Our traveler is top position in the Indian traveler history. India, you go to the website, then you getting 22 million people around the year. They travel the India, and 27 million visas they are issues us.
Mm, mm, mm.
And here is also Inbound Tourism Association. So we have now the time we all are in our home now. Stay safe, stay together. My motto is stay strong, stay together.
Okay.
So we connect with the association.
Yeah.
If we make a relation with association, then it's come more effective, more beneficiary for both of countries.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's a really important follow-up point, that if we have those sort of linkages, then we can actually make things happen. During Gillian's show, or the show that you had with Gillian, she mentioned something, 264 visitors to Botswana from Bangladesh for 2018. So whether they filtered into Zimbabwe or not, I'm not really sure. But 264 out of the millions of people that live in Bangladesh, I don't think is...
And last year, 1 million people visit Indonesia.
Okay.
And 50,000 people visit Vietnam and other country like Laos, Cambodia, Philippines, and most of all, more than 4 lakh plus people visit Malaysia.
So lakh means how many?
Sorry. This is 4 million.
Okay.
4 million. That is plus. And whatever we want to say, if we focus this Victoria, for me, this is very important. When we go to the Canada to see Niagara or another attraction, then it is much cheaper, more than 2 times than Victoria.
Yeah, on the issue of pricing, it's look, Zimbabwe has something for everybody. There's no way you're going to say it's excessively expensive. I think the most critical thing, it's a long haul destination. Long haul travel by its very nature, it's not as cheap, and also the frequency of flights is another issue. The 2 big carriers international that fly into Bangladesh that can connect you with Zimbabwe are Emirates and Qatar.
Yes.
Etihad, I'm not sure if they're still flying there. It looks like they stopped flying.
From Bangladesh now, Etihad not operating their flight. Now only Qatar, Emirates, and maybe Kuwait is there.
Yeah, so Qatar is part of One World, if I remember correctly. So you can benefit from the network, One World. Emirates is a standalone, but they've got daily flights into Harare. Through One World, you can access Victoria Falls direct from the network. So I think the issue of access, and that really comes from demand, and that's where we have our role to play, to stimulate that demand. And if the justification is there for increased flights, obviously fares would come down as a result of increased flights or increased competition to improve access to Zimbabwe, for sure. Zimbabwe is also, it's got a little bit of everything for everyone, whether you're a luxury traveler or you're a budget traveler. There's definitely something available for you, and there's different hospitality operators, Airbnb facilities that are here as well. So you can shop, you can do your homework, and it's a question of where you fit in terms of your budget profile. So similar to me visiting Bangladesh, if I want to stay in one of the leading hotels in the world, I can do that. If I want to stay in an Airbnb, I can do that.
Sir, I want to say I am the member of Tour Operator Association, also member of Inbound Tourism Travel Operator, also member of Japan Travel Association Agent, JATA. So I invite and I want your help. we want to make a panel discussion with our tourism leader, like our TOAB president. Here is the PATA general secretary. Now we can do the meeting panel discussion with this four region. If you taking the step, then I want to invite four of you, like Botswana, like Zimbabwe, like Zambia, like Namibia, and from Bangladesh, our tour operator association president and PATA president, chapter president will be present the discussion, panel discussion. Then we getting more connectivity and come some point how we are interested and how we exchange our culture and tourism. You know, in Bangladesh have very big attraction, Sundarban forest, which is the mangrove forest, and already it's declared UNESCO heritage site. And a lot of archaeological site in Bangladesh there.
Okay, so you know we've got 5 UNESCO heritage sites in Zimbabwe, right?
Yes.
Okay,
there is one is the Kaza, the Victoria, and
Victoria
the four
Falls.
is
Yes, there's Victoria Falls, there's Great Zimbabwe, Kami, so and Machopos. I've mentioned all of those to you, and then there is a Chiwero National Park as well. So we've got 5: 3 cultural, 2 wildlife or natural heritage sites.
Oh, great, sir, great. So we want to exchange more with our tour operator, our traveler. Hope you taking a positive step to organize a panel discussion with our leaders. What are you thinking for that?
Yeah, I'd love to be involved in any way we can. Gillian would be a very good focal point because she's already CASA representative in terms of the Victoria Falls Regional Tourism Association. If national boards or bodies are involved, then clearly the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority would be very instrumental there as well, to coordinate with your own tourism authority. But look, we welcome tourists, we welcome visitors from all over the world, and Bangladesh, along with the rest of Asia, certainly welcome. And so anything we can do to make that happen, for sure, please let us know, and we will be happy to be involved.
Thank you, sir. Be with us, and I am welcoming you. Please visit our beautiful country. Here is the longest series called is Cox's Bazar, and another island in the Bay of Bengal, middle of Bengal, Bay of Bengal. There is the name is Saint Martin. And we call this Bangla. This is we call Narkel Jinjira. Which is called in English Coconut Island.
Oh, okay.
And in the another part there is blue whale in the middle of Bay of Bengal.
Blue whale, but the whales.
Yes, Bay of Bengal.
And so we can see them, go and visit and see them on the boat?
Yes, lot of tourists coming, and they are making scuba diving and go to the inside of the whale, and they are taking the pictures for inside water life.
Okay.
Yes,
very interesting.
Yes. Yes, and I want to help any kind of help to making this relation more strong, more positive, because we want our traveler want to see Victoria Falls. What is the now most important for me? A lot of people in Bangladesh, they don't know about Victoria. Why? This is the very important. When I know this, then I heard how is possible. There is lot of tourism leaders in this region. Why not they interested? What is the main problem? What is the focal point? Why they are not interested to come my country? Why we are not getting on arrival visas?
Yeah.
That time I communicate with Miss Gillian and you, and I try to reach more people, your authority, and in
Mm,
Namibia and in Zambia. I try to reach them. And
mm,
I give them message, please come to our Bangladesh. There are a lot of tourists. They
mm.
are interested to visit Victoria, your country. Please ensure them. Please come our country and enjoy our attraction. We are there to serve you.
Mm. I think it can happen, Faisal, and I understand your passion. I can feel it for sure to make this happen. It's really also making sure that even as tourism operators, that we mustn't forget the other stakeholders in this process, which is our government. So once that desire is there and the demand is there, both ways. For Zimbabweans wanting to visit Bangladesh, we also have visa issues to overcome. For us, the Bangladeshi embassy for Zimbabwe is based in Pretoria, in South Africa. So, I can't get information about Bangladesh as easily as you're saying the same thing. So trade helps a lot, and part of trade is tourism. Visiting each other's countries. Once those relationships are there, business people coming to Bangladesh. One sector we haven't spoken about much today is MICE tourism, as it's called. I don't like the acronym much, but everyone knows what MICE tourism is. So
Yes.
conferences, incentive travel, that would really help the numbers a lot, but also exposes people directly from Bangladesh, from around the world, to Zimbabwe. So if we can work together to develop any of those sectors, leisure, MICE tourism, let's do that. Let's commit to doing that, and that will help with the visa issues automatically, because at least then our government starts speaking to each other on the basis of something that they understand very well, which is trade. And our Foreign Affairs Ministry actually has put trade front and center of developing Zimbabwe's national foreign international policy. So there's a very, very strong desire to engage. Certainly from the Zimbabwe Tour Operators Association. And part of this conversation is to ensure that our members will benefit from any engagement that we have with Bangladesh, with the tourism authorities in Bangladesh as well.
Thank you, sir. Be with us. We are really grateful to you, and you give us a lot of time. I give greetings to your all member, Zimbabwe Tour Operator Association, and invite them. Please come to our country and visit our beautiful country. And I am here, I am Faisal Razu, welcoming you all in our country. And I believe soon both this country exchange their culture and tourism. That day is not very far. This is very near to us. We meet with you all soon, and I hope viewers, this is the time to say goodbye, but we are not going. We are attending with Lord. I hope soon we arrange a panel discussion with the support of Ms. Gillian and Mr. Kumbi, Zimbabwe Tour Operator Association President, and we try to make this panel discussion fruitful, and we invite our Tour Operator Association President and Pata Chapter President to discussing more how we involve and how we develop, how we exchange our tourism culture and sharing our product and benefited both of us and enjoying the cultural heritage and most of important the UNESCO heritage site. So viewers, if you want to connect with Victoria, so not more delay. Please follow online. You can search on website. You know more. And I am Faisal Raju here. If you need any help, I am ready to help you, because in the another part, our Zimbabwe tour operator president, Mr. Kumbi, with us. So no delay. Let's stay together, stay with us. So sir, now time is goodbye, and thank you for give your valuable time. Thank you, sir.
Tatenda Siyabonga. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you, viewers. Bye-bye.